Here's how other witnesses described what happened.
I heard the bang and everyone froze. Then madness broke out.
There were children crying, trying to get in touch with parents. Parents on their phones trying to contact their kids.
Massive explosions. And everyone started to run. It was just loads of chaos and everyone was scared and screaming.
My friends literally ran the fastest she has ever ran out of the arena, covered in other people's blood. I can't even imagine.
There was a massive loud bang and I just looked up to where I heard it coming from, and people were screaming and literally jumping out of the seats, like over each other. Everyone just ran, and because the doors are like upstairs, then it was just like complete chaos from there.
Saw a little girl crying and screaming, "I want to go home," outside Manchester Arena.
We were in the arena and we heard a bang and I had to run for my life, and they told us to calm down because it was a balloon. They told us to be calm, and then a few minutes later they let us out, and then ambulances came and we realised it wasn't a balloon.
It's been confirmed that many young people and children were among the victims. 3 have been named so far. John Atkinson was 26. 8-year-old Safi Rose Roussos was at the concert with her mother and sister. And another victim, Georgina Calendar, who was just 18, is said to have died in hospital with her mother at her bedside. She was a huge fan of Ariana Grande and even met her idol back in 2015. She described meeting the pop star as the best day. A vigil is currently being held in the centre of Manchester to honour the victims. In a massive show of support, thousands of people rallied together outside the city's town hall. They're coming to remember those who lost their lives and to express solidarity and sympathy with the victims' families. RTUK's Polly Boyko is there now. So, Polly, tell us, what is the mood like in Manchester this evening?
Yeah, I'm on Manchester's main square where people have been pouring in, really, to express solidarity with the victims of last night's attack. And what I think a lot of people here found so harrowing is the number of young people that this attack has touched. Of course, Ariana Grande, she's an American pop star, and she had a very young fan base. A lot of teens and pre-teens. I was talking to a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old that were at that concert last night, and I've just been talking to people here on the square, and I've seen really emotional locals here talking about just how many children were caught up in that attack. There have been tears and people wanting to just express their support for the people that have been affected by what took place last night. Take a listen to what some of the people here had to say.
You just wouldn't expect it to happen, especially in a country like this. It's not a third world country, is it? It's just not right.
Manchester's such a great place and we love it, and also a friend's brother has gone missing. I've come to see if I can see him. I don't know where he is. I'm sure he's here though. But I've been stressed about this all day, so worried, so sad, and it's just the most awful thing.
I think the main reason is when everyone's feeling the same thing, to be together at times like this, and to show that nothing can break the Manchester spirit. We'll be together and we'll stand together and we'll love each other, and nothing can change that.
You know, Manchester isn't a very big city, so a lot of the people I've been talking to say that they know somebody, friends or relatives who know somebody who was at that concert, or even somebody who's still missing. And of course, the way that attack took place, this was a soft target. People were just leaving the concert, making their way into the train station there, when suddenly this improvised explosive device was detonated by that suicide bomber. It apparently contained nuts and bolts. That's what we're hearing from the doctors who were treating victims at the hospitals here in Manchester today. Also stories of heroism, especially from parents who doctors say were refusing treatment until their children and other children had been seen to and declared safe. And of course, tragically, as I said, some young people are still missing. Because Ariana Grande, she's such a huge pop star, she travelled over from the US, she only had 3 concert dates here in the UK, so a lot of people had travelled from far and wide to attend this event last night. We know of a very sad story of 2 sisters who had flown all the way from the Scottish Hebrides, from these remote islands in Scotland, and they are still unaccounted for, very sadly. And there's been talk about the security at the venue. 2 of the girls who attended last night told me that they were surprised. There was obviously a lot of people trying to get into the venue, and security was just kind of waving them through, checking their bags, but not too thoroughly. They'd even mentioned that their mother had managed to sneak in illicit bars of chocolates in her belt, which was kind of surprising to them because they thought they'd be well, checked rather thoroughly given the situation and the severe terror threat right now. But coming into the city, it has been jumpy here, especially throughout the day. Police have been saying that they've been reinforcing security. London's Metropolitan Police have said the same thing, that they're going to be overlooking how they police even smaller events in light of what's happened. But this is a city that, on the one hand, is showing defiance. They're all here. On the other hand, it's on edge. We've seen evacuated hospitals today. We saw a shopping centre evacuated today and people running panicked from there. So defiance on the one hand, but on the other hand, extreme anxiety, especially for people who are still trying to locate missing friends and relatives.
Polly, thanks very much indeed for that live update. RTUK's Polly Boyko there. Rudd to discuss the investigation with police. She then headed to the town hall to sign a book of condolences. Condemning the cowardice of the attack, Theresa May said police are working to identify all those who might have been involved.
I've been here today at Greater Manchester Police. I've been talking to the police about the investigation that is continuing, and they and the security services are working, obviously, to identify whether there was a wider group of people involved in this particular incident. It is an absolutely barbaric attack that has taken place. To cut off young lives in this way, I mean, it is absolutely devastating, and our thoughts and prayers must be with their families and friends at this horrendous tragedy that has taken place.
As the Prime Minister chaired an emergency Cobra meeting at Downing Street this morning, flags flew at half-mast. They remain lowered to honour the people killed and injured in the attack. Joining me now is human rights campaigner. Well, the Manchester venue is the second largest indoor arena in Europe, and here's how events unfolded last night.
No. Oh my God. What's going on? Oh my God.
More on the Manchester attack after this short break.